Garnet. Garnet is the birthstone for January, and people born in this month are said to carry its defining quality, loyalty that does not waver under pressure. The Garnet personality is grounded, driven, and fiercely committed. Someone who sets a goal in the cold of winter and does not stop until it is done. The stone has been carried as a protective talisman since ancient Rome, worn by soldiers and travelers who believed it shielded them from harm on long journeys. That association with protection runs through its metaphysical reputation to this day. Garnet is believed to boost physical energy and emotional resilience, making it the stone most associated with getting through hard seasons without losing ground. Healers have long connected it to the circulatory system and to vitality, treating it as a stone that moves stagnant energy and recharges the body from the inside. For January, a month that demands commitment when motivation is at its lowest, the garnet is considered the most anchoring stone in the calendar. Amethyst. Amethyst is the birthstone for February, the month most associated with emotion, and the stone's reputation reflects that entirely. February, people are described as intuitive, deeply feeling, and perceptive in ways others often miss. Amethyst has been the stone of mental clarity and spiritual insight across cultures for thousands of years. Ancient Greeks believed it protected against clouded thinking. Medieval clergy wore it as the bishop's stone, treating it as a symbol of sober, clear-headed judgment. Its metaphysical reputation centers on the calming of anxiety, the quieting of an overactive mind, and the strengthening of intuition. It is consistently associated with the crown and third eye chakras, the energy centers linked to higher perception and inner knowing. Physically, it is connected to stress relief and the nervous system, used by practitioners to ease tension that the body holds from unprocessed emotion. For people born in the most emotionally charged month of the year, amethyst is considered a stone that turns sensitivity into clarity rather than overwhelm. Aquamarine. Aquamarine is the birthstone for March, and its personality is the one most associated with calm authority and clear communication. March people are thought to be composed under pressure, honest in their expression, and quietly courageous. The kind of person who says the difficult thing in the room because they cannot help but tell the truth. The stone has been connected to the sea and to sailors for centuries, carried not out of fear, but out of trust that the waters would hold. Its metaphysical associations center on the throat chakra, the energy point governing honest self-expression, and the ability to speak from a place of peace rather than panic. Aquamarine is believed to reduce anxiety before difficult conversations, and to support the kind of emotional courage that comes not from aggression, but from genuine stillness. Physically, it has been connected to the respiratory and immune systems, treated as a stone that keeps the body's defenses calm and consistent. For March, which sits at the threshold between winter and the opening of the year, aquamarine represents the ability to move forward without force. Diamond. Diamond is the birthstone for April, and the personality it represents is the most uncompromising in the calendar. April people are described as direct, self-possessed, and capable of enduring sustained pressure without changing shape, which is exactly what a diamond does. Formed over billions of years under conditions that would destroy any other material, the diamond has been treated across cultures as the stone of invincibility, inner strength, and eternal commitment. Its metaphysical reputation is built on amplification. Diamond is believed to intensify whatever energy the wearer already carries, which makes the character of the person holding it more important than the stone itself. It is associated with the crown chakra and with the alignment of thought, emotion, and action into a single, clear direction. Physically, it has been connected to the brain and the nervous system, to clarity of thought and the removal of confusion. For April, the month that opens the second quarter of the year and demands decision, diamond is the stone most associated with knowing exactly who you are and being unable to be talked out of it. Emerald. Emerald is the birthstone for May, the month of full spring, and its personality is one of growth, creativity, and emotional depth. May people are thought to be visionary, warm-hearted, and drawn to beauty in all its forms, people who see potential in situations others have already written off. The emerald has been the stone of renewal since Egyptian times, connected to Cleopatra and to the Inca civilization, both of which treated it as sacred. Its metaphysical associations center on the heart chakra, making it the stone most directly linked to love, compassion, and the willingness to remain open after being hurt. Emerald is believed to encourage emotional balance, to attract abundance, and to sharpen the creative intelligence that knows how to turn an idea into something real. Physically, it has been connected to the eyes and the heart, to circulation and to the immune system. For May people, whose defining strength is often their capacity to love and create through uncertainty, the emerald is considered the stone most aligned with that particular kind of courage. Pearl is the birthstone for June, and its personality is unlike any other stone in the calendar because it is unlike any other stone in mineralogy. A pearl is produced by a living creature as an act of transformation, turning an irritation into something of beauty over months and years of patient work. June people are said to carry that same quality, calm on the surface, deeply sensitive underneath, and capable of producing extraordinary things from difficult circumstances. The pearl's metaphysical associations are centered on purity, emotional wisdom, and the capacity for self-reflection. It is connected to the water element and to lunar energy, associated with the rhythms of feeling rather than the logic of thought. Healers connect it to the digestive system and to emotional processing, treating it as a stone that helps the body release what it has been holding, rather than accumulating more. June people, positioned exactly at the midpoint of the year, are said to be the ones who hold others steady while doing their own quiet interior work, and the pearl is considered the stone that most precisely reflects that nature. Ruby is the birthstone for July, the hottest month in the northern calendar, and its personality is one of passion, courage, and an appetite for life that other people find either irresistible or exhausting. July people are described as magnetic, bold, and intensely loyal, people who feel everything at full volume and make no apology for it. The ruby has been called the stone of the warrior across cultures, worn in ancient Burma by soldiers who believed it made them invincible, and in Hindu tradition as an offering to the divine that guaranteed power in the next life. Its metaphysical associations center on the root and heart chakras simultaneously, connecting the physical energy of survival with the emotional energy of love, which is why ruby is considered the stone most associated with passionate commitment rather than passive affection. Physically, it has been linked to circulation, vitality, and the blood, to the engine of the body, rather than its finer systems. For people born in July, the stone is considered a direct reflection of their defining quality, the refusal to be anything less than fully alive. Peridot is the birthstone for August, and its personality is one of renewal, optimism, and a particular kind of warmth that is generous without being naive. August people are described as open, purposeful, and unusually good at moving on. Not because they feel less than others, but because they understand that holding on to what has already ended does not serve the life still ahead of them. The peridot has been called the stone of light since ancient Egyptian times, worn as protection against the fears that come after dark, and that association with dispelling negativity runs through its entire metaphysical tradition. It is believed to cleanse resentment, reduce envy, and clear the mental static that accumulates when a person has been carrying something too long. It is connected to the heart and solar plexus chakras, linking emotional well-being to personal power. Physically, it has been associated with the digestive system and the liver, organs connected in traditional medicine to the processing of what the body and mind take in. For August, a month of late summer abundance before the turn, peridot is the stone most associated with choosing lightness deliberately. Sapphire is the birthstone for September, and its personality is the one most consistently associated with wisdom, integrity, and calm authority that does not need to announce itself. September, people are described as discerning, principled, and trustworthy, the person in the room others turn to when they want the clearest read on a situation. The sapphire has been connected to divine favor and royalty across Asia and Europe for thousands of years, worn by kings who believed it protected them from deception, and by clergy who associated it with spiritual enlightenment. Its metaphysical reputation is built on the throat and third eye chakras, on honest communication, aligned with genuine perception, which is why it is considered the stone most associated with leadership that comes from understanding rather than rank. Healers connect it to the nervous system and to mental focus, to the kind of sustained concentration that produces results over long periods. For September, the month the year begins to demand accounting, sapphire belongs to the person who has always known the difference between what is true and what is merely convenient. Opal is the birthstone for October, and its personality is the most complex in the calendar, fitting for a stone that contains every color simultaneously. October, people are described as creative, emotionally perceptive, and deeply individual. People whose interior life is richer than what they show, and whose imagination operates on a frequency others cannot always follow. The opal has been associated with creativity and prophecy since Roman times, treated as the stone that held the combined power of every other gem. Its metaphysical associations center on emotional amplification. Opal intensifies what the wearer already feels, which rewards self-awareness and can overwhelm those who lack it. It is connected to the crown chakra and to the full emotional spectrum, associated with inspiration, artistic vision, and the ability to perceive what others miss. Physically, it has been linked to the kidneys and to the body's filtering systems. For October people, who tend to see the world with more layers than most, opal is the stone that validates that depth, rather than asking them to simplify it. Citrine. Citrine is the birthstone for November, and its personality is the most practically optimistic in the calendar. November people are described as determined, resourceful, and unusually good at turning ideas into outcomes. People with the patience to wait for the right moment and the decisiveness to act when it arrives. Known historically as the merchant stone, citrine has been associated with prosperity and the attraction of success for centuries, kept in places of business as a talisman against financial stagnation. Its metaphysical associations center on the solar plexus chakra, the energy center governing personal power, confidence, and the capacity to bring intentions into the physical world. Citrine is one of the few stones in the tradition described as self-sustaining in its energy, not requiring cleansing the way darker stones do, which is why it is associated with consistent optimism rather than the kind that needs to be periodically renewed. Physically, it is connected to the digestive system and to metabolism. For November, the month of late-year effort before winter, citrine is the stone most aligned with productive ambition. Turquoise. Turquoise is the birthstone for December, and its personality is the most universally protective and spiritually grounded in the calendar. December people are described as wise, generous, and connected to something larger than themselves, people whose perspective has been shaped by genuine reflection on what matters. Turquoise was sacred to Native American, Persian, Egyptian, and Aztec civilizations simultaneously, each treating it as a stone of protection, healing, and connection between the earthly and the divine. That convergence across unconnected cultures is itself significant. Its metaphysical associations center on the throat chakra and the full energy system of the body, connecting honest expression to spiritual alignment and treating the stone as a balancer rather than an amplifier. It is believed to protect against negative forces, promote emotional equilibrium, and strengthen the immune system. Physically, it is associated with whole-body resilience rather than any single organ or system. For December, the closing month of the calendar, turquoise is the stone most associated with reaching the end of a full cycle, with something still left to give.